Ageism in acting is real. At 28, when I moved to New York City, I discovered I was considered too old to be an actress. But I defied the odds, overcame obstacles, persisted, and found success in the crazy world of acting. You can too. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jill Dalton, a working actor living in New York City. Welcome to my channel where I share insights, inspiration, audition tips, practical career advice, lessons I learned, and a behind-the-scenes look at show business. I really appreciate all my subscribers and your kind comment. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. It really helps the channel. Thanks for being here. I moved to New York City at the age of 28, and according to industry standards at the time, this was considered too old to be an actress, but I refused to be deterred. But after moving to New York, I realized I didn't really have any real acting technique, so I began taking acting classes. I did several off-Broadway shows, a feature film, but then I put all my focus and intention on getting work on the soap operas because I wanted a steady job. Sadly, I lost my recurring part on Another World in 1995 due to the 3 networks turning their daytime programming over to the O.J. Simpson trial. I was also in the middle of a devastating divorce and started doing stand-up comedy. After almost 5 years, I had to stop because this was not a lifestyle I could sustain or endure. I had no agent or acting contacts anymore. Out of desperation, I started doing extra work. I became part of a core group of background actors on a super successful New York TV show, and I loved being on the show. It was a steady gig. We were always in the studio, got to know everyone. It was like a family. I worked on the show for 6 years. I was there from the very beginning. The show was starting up again, and I was waiting to hear from casting regarding my start date and call time. But when casting called, they told me I wasn't asked back for the next season, and I was shocked. Why? They love you, she said, but you're too old. I felt like I'd been sucker punched. I'd never experienced ageism before that I knew of. I started crying. I said, I don't know why I'm crying. I really appreciate you telling me the truth. I ought to mention there were 3 guys who also started the show when I did, who were around my age, and they remained on the show. Age discrimination is illegal, but do you think I'm going to fight City Hall? No. I thought about it. Revenge. Instead, I wrote thank you letters to one of the producers and first ADs expressing my gratitude for being on the show for 6 years. And it allowed me to receive my health care, pension credits, and gave me a place where I felt at home. I immediately got a call from Principal Casting asking me to audition for a co-star part. I didn't book it. I was so nervous about money now that I didn't have my regular gig. But I believe the universe is a benevolent place, and if we stay open and surrender, we will be guided to our next right step. So I'm nervous about money, but this is how the universe works. I was booked as background on a Verizon commercial, which I was thrilled about because commercials pay really well. So I'm in holding. Holding is where they keep the background players when they're not working on set. So we were in this huge tent in the parking lot of some mall in New Jersey. And there was a large group of background actors because we're the Verizon network. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a man walking around looking at people. He approaches a friend of mine. They chat. She nods. And I realize he's the director and he's going to place people. I become very still. My mantra becomes, he's going to pick me, pick me, pick me. And he picked 6 people. I was one of them. Now, it's important to know the rules and regulations of your union, and I'll tell you why. There are 3 criteria to be upgraded on a SAG commercial. 1, you need to be in the foreground. 2, you need to be identifiable. 3, you need to be demonstrating the product or reacting to the on-off camera narration or commercial message. The director places the 6 of us in the first row, just in a line, and then puts all the other background actors behind us because we're the network. Then Props starts handing out phones, keyboards, and various other paraphernalia that is Verizon type stuff. Then they bring out the Can You Hear Me Now guy, Paul Marcarelli. He's really friendly, says hello to everyone. Then he turns and faces the camera, and he's standing right in front of me, slightly to my right. So I'm going, okay, I'm in the foreground. Check. Identifiable. Check. Demonstrating the product. Check. So I have my Verizon cell phone and they call action. And I'm talking on my phone and I'm making sure that I'm standing up very straight and I am angled so that I'm not looking in the camera, but I am talking on the phone. So I am recognizable. So I was upgraded and it was a 13-week cycle. Shortly after that, I got word that they renewed the commercial again for another cycle. I was in residual heaven. The irony is I made more money on that one day than I did working a full year on the TV show. So the universe was letting me know, Jill, it's okay. You're going to be okay. I found this graph on the internet. It shows SAG-AFTRA data, and it turns out that the peak for actors working is from the ages of 25 to 52. Unfortunately, there's a huge gender and wage gap when it comes to women. So it's not just ageism. For example, in movies, only 36% of major roles go to women. Only 35% of women are given speaking roles. 31% are women-led stories. Now, the wage gap, 25% difference between male and female actors. Even for big stars, there is at least a $1 million difference per film. Gina Davis founded the Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media to bring awareness to this issue. But this wage gap is not just in the entertainment industry, it's in every industry. Getting older in show business isn't easy. There's a lot of pressure on women to stay young and beautiful. So they resort to plastic surgery, Botox, collagen injections, but eventually every actress is going to come up against ageism. Many actresses can't make the transition from starlet to a woman of substance, so they stop working. Many actresses make the leap, including Jodie Foster, Annette Bening, Meryl Streep, Jessica Lange. Goldie Hawn famously described the prevailing attitude about women in show business. There are only 3 ages for women: babe, district attorney, and driving Miss Daisy. Are you too old to act? No, not at all. I actually work more as an older actress than I did when I was younger. Part of it has to do with attrition. Many actors drop out, give up, change careers, retire. I figured if I just hang in there enough, everyone will either die or move to LA and they'll have to hire me. In 2010, I assisted Academy Award winner William Hurt on the film Too Big to Fail. He was the lead playing Hank Paulson, and I spent 10 weeks working with him on his part. And after I finished working with him, I couldn't go back to extra work. I was allergic to it. I took my Social Security and SAG pension early. I backed away from acting and I just lived my life. After 3 years, I don't know, I just decided I'm going to get a new headshot, but I'm not going to spend more than $100 on it, which is crazy in New York City because headshots can cost over $1,000. I got my new headshot and I sent it to my manager, who I had not worked with in several years, but he started sending me out and I started booking work like crazy. It was amazing. The reason I believe I booked more jobs is because I had more life experience. I was calmer, much more zen. When I was starting out, I was so desperate. I'd be like, all right, I've got to book this job. I've got to book this job. But now I was able to just focus on the part, do the audition, let it go. Ageism is real, but it's never too late. And they need older actors. It's a mindset. Don't listen to the naysayers. Trust yourself and your intuition. You are enough. Hang in there. Do your own thing. Run your own race. You also need to have the goods. Study. Know your craft. Oh, be sure and check out my video on the craft of acting. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave your comments. Until next time.